Hi Pisces, it's Lynn from Tinker Tarot and Cartomancy. I'm here to do your November 2025 reading. I have it all laid out, and there is a silver lining in all of this that you're going through right now. The first card you have is Diving for the Light. It's a 2, it's an 11, which is what November is. And so this is a doorway, of course. This is also planning, new planning, You have a new idea, you've seen some light, and now you're looking for it in a dark situation in your life. Oops. Then you have the Eight of Cups in the Druidcraft Tarot. The Eight of Cups says we're moving on to something else. The situation is missing something, and it's important enough that you're going to move on. You're going to leave it to find what's missing in your life. This served you for a while. It was good for a while it lasted, while you were that person. But now you've changed and you want something else, something deeper. Okay? In the recent past, you have Cernunnos, which is the devil, the Nine of Wands, and the Chariot. So here we have someone, could be yourself or someone around you, that has succumbed to the devil. We get lost in the devil's lair and of desire, and so we get trapped or get enslaved in a situation in the devil. So this could be someone fooled around in a relationship, this could be addictions, this could be just selfishness in some way. And then we have someone who's on the defense. They say they're not going to put up with this anymore, they're not going to do it. They're laying their line in the sand and saying enough is enough. So you or the other person get very defensive about the situation and feel hurt, feel damaged from it, right? And then there's the Chariot, and the Chariot is a victory after hard work. And you may have found yourself being pulled along in this journey that you don't like, you didn't ask for. And it's not until you decide to take charge of where you're going, what you're doing, how you're going to experience this, that you become victorious. In the Chariot, we take a hold of the reins and we decide what we're going to do or what we're not going to do. We're not part of this situation. That's, I feel like it's someone else around you, and they could have went down the wrong road and then get defensive, and maybe what they call the gaslighting, trying to blame you or something like that. Anyway, you don't like it, and that's why you decide to take another path. You want something more out of a relationship, possibly a partnership. Okay. Then in the present, what I love here is that, this has given you some sort of training. I think you've gained a skill during this process, gained a lesson, and here you're realizing something new about yourself. There's the Magician and the Princess of Wands. So Magician, is the next step after the Fool. The Magician opens that sack the Fool has, and it reveals all of these tools, these magical tools to put something into being, knows how to combine them to take action on something creative and something that you already have the skills and the tools to do. And who you are, I think that you've trained possibly or learned some sort of new skill through this process. And then again, in the Fairlet or the Temperance, we're combining these skills, you're combining these, and you what you're looking for is happiness and peace and contentment here. And you're trying to combine these two parts of yourself to realize that. In the temperance, you know, we also learn patience on how to figure something out. And I think that this is what you're really focusing on something here, okay? You're focusing on your evolution for one thing, believing in yourself, ready to take action on something here, something new for sure, but I think you're going up a level. You've gained knowledge, you realize your knowledge and skills and you want to put them into action. And then in near the end of November, you have the Ten of Cups, the Tower, and the Eight of Swords. I feel like there's a family situation that is um, maybe as hard as you try to keep it together, keep it happy, keep it simple, it falls apart. There's something in the foundation that's falling apart. And you feel like you're trapped. There's nothing you can do. You feel like there's nothing you can say, perhaps, to change something in this situation. You're trying to keep everyone happy, I think, content, and you realize that you can't. We can only put in so much of the work, and relationships take work from all sides. So I think this is, kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, and that's it. You're not willing to put time and energy into that, and I think that you're off to something new here. Off to something new, and I think you're really growing from this situation. Let's see. You yourself may have even strayed in the relationship because you feel you're not getting what you need. Your needs aren't being met in the situation, so you may stray. That's just for some of you. So in the present moment, which is beginning of November, you have the Three of Spades, the King of Spades, and the Three of Hearts. So there's an obstacle with this King of Spades. This King of Spades is single, not by choice, separated, widowed, divorced, and is in separation. There's an obstacle here too, and it could be a third party, but this person is solely focused on you, okay? Solely focused on you and only you. Might be trying to win you back. Then you have the Queen of Spades, the Nine of Clubs, and the Jack of Diamonds. So the Queen of Spades could be you too. Like you could be one of these people that have gone through a separation or divorce or something like that. And this could affect you at work. There's something about the work site. You might be getting mail or information or a message at the work site, perhaps about a separated, divorced woman. This person has a little bit of a cold heart, chip on their shoulder. They're still hurt from their situation. You could meet them at work and talk and have something in common here, but you might be getting information from this person at work about your situation. Then we have the King of Clubs, the Nine of Diamonds, and the Three of Clubs. So the King of Clubs is usually a friendly person. This could be your boss at work. They usually have brown or hazel eyes, brown hair. They're creative, they're hard workers, and they're manifestors. They know how to take action, get idea factories kind of thing, okay? And then the Nine of Diamonds is very ambitious. This person is very ambitious and they want to collaborate. They believe in hard work pays off, and they will persevere. They'll see something through to the end. This could be someone on your mind who you might be attracted to. Like I said, they're very ambitious, but they work hard for what they get. In the work pile, you have the 5 of spades, the 4 of hearts, and the 10 of clubs. So you could go to a gathering about a loss, like somebody may be retiring at work, um, or you may be meeting someone at work that lost their job, or the time ran out, the contract ran out, something like that. And it feels like you're going to get together to, have a drink or something to either celebrate it or just recognize it, maybe. Okay. Because it's like the end of a job, the end of a contract. Okay. Somehow this is a happy occasion. It's not a big sad occasion. You're making the best of it. It could be the end of a family situation, but it's completion for sure. Okay. And there could be some loss there. You may have to sacrifice something to end it. Well, well, well. So, Ace of Hearts, 6 of Diamonds, and the Ace of Clubs. This is really nice. So, you've had 2 10s. Oh, no, you've had 1 10. That's a 9. That's a 9. So, 1 10. But now you have 2 aces. This is 2 doors opening. This is how others are seeing you or influencing you. And it definitely looks like a new home to me, for sure. Could be a new baby, but I'm feeling it's a new home. You could be thinking about moving, maybe upgrading your home, upgrading or renovating, because I see some steps being taken that cost money, but it is investment. Um, but it feels like it's upgrading your home, so that you will be happy, so that you will like it, you will enjoy it. You're kind of making your, what do I like to call it, sanctuary. But I also feel like there's a possibility for investment into a new home. I see that you're gaining in your financial security, in your financial stability, and it looks like you could be investing, to me, in a home. Could be a business too, could be, but it's saying strongly a home. In the foundation, 2 of Hearts, Ace of Spades, 3 of Diamonds. So yeah, this is an end to a relationship. Here's the relationship, the partnership. It's come to an end. This has already happened, I feel like. But what you don't realize, or you might realize, is that this is the beginning of your wish coming true, what you actually want. I think that, like I said, in the past, you were happy with this for a time. It suited your needs, or, but it doesn't anymore. And so now you're beginning a new quest, a new dream, a new vision, and it's starting to come true. The wish is starting to come true. So that's a beautiful ending, really. Then in the surprise, you have the 8 of Hearts, the 2 of Diamonds, and the 10 of Spades. I think someone's going to try and reconcile with you. I think they're going to try and talk you into getting back together. Like, hey, let's give it another chance. Like, they may have a meeting with you disguised as a business meeting, but really want to talk about the two of you. Also, I feel like for some of you, you could get a, because you had to end something earlier, the way it was ended, you're getting some sort of retribution for this, possibly money, possibly um, wrongful dismissal, pay, something like this. This is a good conversation, but it is still over. Still over. And you're okay with it. You realize who you are. You realize that you're starting something new, but you have gifts that you can use to do that. You can make this happen. You've done it before, you can do it again, you know? So you may have not been expecting it to happen so quickly. It could have kind of happened quickly, but you're happy for it now. You're happy for it in the end because it's. I also kind of feel like you might have been blindsided with something. Blindsided with something. You had thoughts of it this way, and there is something. There could be something you don't know still that you're about to find out. And although you feel trapped, like there's nothing you can say, you also might be protecting your kids. You know, don't want to say and do too much because you don't want to harm the family unit. You're still protecting it. But you're going to come up with something. Don't you worry. Take your time, be patient. You'll figure it out. You're very gifted here. Okay. And your intent is to find light in a dark place. Don't forget that. All right. So happy Thanksgiving to any of my American friends. Happy Halloween too. That's just around the corner. Have a great time, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.